this is Marie, and I have another quick tip for you today. Hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Our color combo today will be a dark auburn hair. We're going to be using E13, 17, and actually E18 and 19 will be high intensity. And as we color this, you'll notice some streaks, and the streaks will be the high intensity E19. I like to use either Cryogen or Express It, but today we'll be using Express It. It's smoother, less tooth than Cryogen. And I'm going to stamp my image with Memento ink. This is an ink that will not damage your nibs on Copics or Shinhan. I'm using a Little Darlings image. We've used an image similar in the past, but she has beautiful hair to be able to color, so I selected this one, and it's Lisbeth and Bird. So as we look at our image, again establishing the light source, and I'm going to have mine coming from the left-hand side, and the shadow side will be more on the right side. And in any of the, as we look at hair, we'll be looking again for peaks and valleys, and the valleys will be the shadow side. We're going to begin coloring and just establishing or mapping out our shadow areas with our lightest color, E13, and this is optional. If you're feeling really confident, you can go right to your shadow color for this. But I always like to use my lighter color. I can kind of switch it if I prefer at that point. Just a light flicking method at this point with the wrist action. We've reviewed that in previous videos. And again, if I were working my image without video, I would be working it in small sections. Probably break this particular hair image into 3 sections. But in the light of time, I'm going to color the entire hair color as if it's one unit. Again, just flicking out wherever we see the little valleys in the hair or any areas that would be shaded. This is a particularly great image for anybody, whether you're a beginner or intermediate or advanced. It is a fun image to color, lots of coloring space. And you're going to see that there are some areas there in the front that will probably get a little more shading or high intensity later. I've plotted in where I want my shadow area, so now I'm going to be applying my E17 on top of that. Again, if you're comfortable with it, move right on to your E18, but I would leave my E19 for high intensity, and I would apply that usually last. So basically, we're applying a mid-tone and extending it out some from where we would normally think our shadow would be. Little flicking motions with the wrist, getting it under any area that would be blocking some of your light source, and flicking toward your highlight. Making sure that the consistency of the highlight would be the same as you color, say, the rest of your image. It'll be important that your highlight remain consistent, whether you're coloring her shoes or her socks or her dress. always keeping in mind where you have selected your highlight. And if you choose to change your highlight, you'll notice that your same image will look very different each time. So it's a nice way to be able to get a different look on the same image. Now we're applying our shadow area color, the E18. Again, using it rather sparingly. Flicking out. Not quite as far as we did with our mid-tone, our E17. Usually the part of the hair, and in order to make the hair kind of cup and not appear flat, you would do it, apply it at the hairline and at the tips of the hair, or where that particular segment of hair ends. That way it will pop up in the center and appear more dimensional. I find coloring pretty relaxing. I always have enjoyed it, even as a child. So this is what I do when I'm not doing my day job. Got a little bit wild with that one flicking method there, but do try to flick in the direction in which the hair would be going or moving. That will give you your best results. And now flicking out with my lighter color toward the highlight. You know, you can always go darker, so keeping it fairly light at this time, a very light touch would be the best. Don't feel like you have to hold your paper in one position. I like to turn my paper as I work. It makes it a lot easier to color. I prefer to flick out, but in the light of, again, trying to do the video for you, I'm kind of twisting my wrist a little bit more than I normally would. But normally, try it. I think you probably will find that a light flicking motion away from you will give you the greatest amount of control. Now we're going to add our high intensity. I like to always save that for last, and this is totally optional. This will give it sometimes I like the lighter auburn hair, and if that's the case, I would omit the E19 at this point. And I'm really only using it where there would be a crease in the hair, like the part that's being hidden around the neck, the face, and there you go. I think I'm pleased with it. Turned out to be a very nice dark auburn hair. But again, if you want it lighter, just do not apply the E19.